And lastly, on the questions, the little options at the bottom of each question is, once again, these little 3 dots, which means more. If you go to that, you can show a description. So if you want to add a description, so maybe you ask the question, but you need a little bit more, or maybe if it's on a multiple choice question, you can say just a little more specific, or if it's on a drop down question, or for checkboxes, you're actually allowed to say more than one answer. So if it's, which of these are your favorite foods? And then maybe in the description, I would say, choose as many as apply. So that kind of thing. If you just need to kind of specify more, then you can include the time. So if you would want to include what time it was, it just depends. So I could show the description. I could limit. So for the more, I can show a description, and it just varies upon the question, because for the more, because certain ones, as in the time question, it's showing the time, but it can ask for a duration. For the calendar question, the date, it can include the time as well as the year or not. So you can choose. If I go up to my multiple choice question, it lets me shuffle the option order. So if I don't want every respondent's options to be in the same order, I can shuffle that. So each type of question has different options in the more, but there are more options. And then lastly, this is important, this data validation. Maybe this could include an email address. So maybe I want them to add an email. Well, if they're being goofy and don't want to add an actual one, this data validation will actually let me choose. So if I don't think it's right, I can choose, and the computer will not accept it. So I can choose how long it is. So since this is on the paragraph answer, I can choose a maximum or a minimum character count. So if I tell them they're going to write at least 100 words about this, I can write 100. And if they don't write 100 words, then it's not validated, and it will not be an accurate. They know right away that it's not accurate as it should be. If I want to move questions, you see, maybe you've been wondering, these 6 little dots right at the top, I can actually move the questions. So you see, when I'm moving my mouse around here, I get the little finger pointer, I get the arrow, I get to type, and then I get the grabber once I get right up here on these 6 dots. So if I do that, I can just click with my mouse and just pull it, and I can put it in between whatever question I want. So if you decide that the quiz flows better with the question in a different position, or for whatever reason, that's also an option to move the questions. Up here at the top, we're on the questions sheet. However, there's also the responses sheet. So if I click on that, it will show me what responses, who has taken this. So I haven't sent this out, so I obviously do not have any responses. However, if I were to send this out, it would show me about the 10 people that took it, and it will give me the responses. So from the responses, I can either choose to create a spreadsheet, which is what this would do, which would take me to, it would automatically create a spreadsheet for me and save me a ton of work and show me each individual's answers. And that's a really good way to collect data, to grade, to figure out lots of different stuff. There's also this more button, of course. There's more on every single page you go to. And if you want to get new notifications every time someone responds, if you want to determine where you want the responses to go, if you want to download them, delete them, whatever, you have all those options. And then this little accepting responses, it's turned on right now. However, if I turn it on, it will not accept responses. So this could be if I want to send out a quiz to my students, however, I only want them to be able to take it for 2 hours. There's 2 hours during the day that they can take it. I can turn it off until those 2 hours so that they cannot do it. So I know they're using that time to do it. So then if I turn it on again, it will show me all of them. So finally, in Google Forms, there's the live form URL link and the Google Drive form URL link. So right now on this page, we are in the Drive form. This is just the plain form. It is not the actual survey or quiz assessment, whatever. It is not the actual one. Remember, that is up here if I go to preview. So right here, this form, the link for this is, if I go back, I'm just going back to my Google Drive. This is where I created it, remember? So it automatically is in my Google Drive. I created it in my Google Drive. It's here. It's this untitled form. So if I click on the untitled form and we go up to the link sharing, it will show me the link. I can click it, copy it, paste it, share it, whatever. So this link right here, though, is to this form, just the Google Drive form. If I want to share the link with so people can actually take it, I have to go to preview. So this is what I actually want them to be able to do. So I'm just going to go back to this one. So this is when we're sending it, is why this is important. So I can send this link. If I send this link, this is going to be what they take. This is the URL. If I send this out, people will get the screen that looks like the preview button, and they will actually be able to take it. So there's definitely a difference between the live version, which is the one that you actually take, and the Google Drive version, which is just what it looks like, which is this, the questions. So you have to make sure when you send it out, if you want somebody to take it, you have to send out the URL link. So Google Forms has tons of different options. I think it is extremely useful. I think it's actually kind of fun to do too. And you can just add so much. You can do it about anything. I really love all the decorating and personalizing that you can do on it. So there's just lots of different options. Remember, there's the options with like per question. There's the options up here at the top right corner with the whole Google form in general. So there's just lots of different things about Google Forms to know, and hopefully this helps you learn about it a little better.